everyone, this is Rachel with Rachel Limebeer Photography. I just wanted to touch base with everyone and just kind of see how are you doing, how are you coping with the social distancing, or if you're in isolation, how are you handling that? We are trying to handle here. I am a huge extrovert and don't particularly like being cooped up all the time in the house. I enjoy my alone time sometimes, but yeah, not being able to go out and visit friends and family and loved ones is extremely hard on me right now. Additionally, the reason that I came about this video is I received another email this morning. A third one of my clients has had their baby, and it absolutely breaks my heart that I cannot go in and I cannot do their pictures. I shoot lifestyle for the most part right now. Which I absolutely love. That is what my heart calls for. I do studio stuff as well, but lifestyle, and unfortunately I'm not able to get in and do their pictures for them right now because we are not an essential service, so no photographers should be out shooting or anything right now, so just to keep everybody really safe. So I figured what I'll do is, while those other sessions will still take place in the future, I figured there are some things that we can do that I can show you that will kind of bump up your photos a little bit and just kind of help you capture your pictures at home. I know that it's not the same as having a professional capture them for you, but it is something that you can still do and still capture that moment in time until you can get to a professional. So I'm going to give you some just general tips of what you can do as well in a separate video, but this one is specifically for my newborns. So all that you really need to capture this time to get like a decent picture that you can send out, although I'm sure you have thousands of them, is really all you need is just a simple wrap, which I'm going to show you how to do with just a standard receiving blanket, which is what I do when I go into my clients' homes. I like to use their own receiving blankets as much as I can, just so that it's a little more personalized to them. So I'm going to show you how to do that with our creepy little baby here, which was my son's doll. So I'm going to show you how to do that, as well as one simple prop which you likely already have somewhere in your home that's completely safe for you to do. So I'm going to show you this wrap. It's a really easy wrap to do. It's basically just your standard swaddle, but there's a couple little tweaks that you can do to just give it that little bit of a professional look. So what you're going to do is you're going to lay your baby on, I'm on my lap, but basically you're going to lay them where the edge of the wrap is about ½ an inch over the height of where their shoulders are, and that's just so that when you bring it down, it's going to come over the baby's shoulders. But the first thing you're going to do is this end piece. We still follow basically what they do in the hospital. This is going to come up first, and this is going to kind of help you hold everything in. The issue is when you bring it up and you kind of fold it down so it's not over baby's face, the wrong edge of the wrap is showing. So one tip that I have for you, because I don't like that edge to show, and I apologize, my daughter's practicing her piano. So hopefully you can still hear me. But what I do is I leave that fold there, and I take this part and I fold it up and over that edge, so that now I have this almost like a fold, but now the right edge is showing again. So that is now underneath the baby's chin a little bit, so it's about right here on the baby. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one side and I'm going to bring it up and over baby's shoulder and down towards their side bum or their hip. And then I'm just going to kind of flatten it out because I don't want it really bunched in the front. I want it to be smooth as I can get. And then I kind of bunch it over to the side and kind of tuck it up along the side of the baby and kind of a little bit underneath. So if you look, there's not really a lot of wrap that's there. It's kind of being tucked underneath. So now I'm going to check, just double check that specifically from about here to here is a nice straight clean edge, because that is the part you're going to see. Down here you're not going to see because we're wrapping the other part over. So I'm happy with that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the other side, and you're going to kind of hold it snug. You don't want to be super tight. Baby still has to be able to breathe. Plus, if they've recently eaten, if you wrap them up too tight, that food's going to come right back up, and we don't want to deal with that, especially when you're trying to take pictures and you're probably using a really good receiving blanket. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring this down, and it's going to kind of cross in the front, which you can see, hopefully. So now what I do is where those joined together, I'm going to put my fingers there. The reason for that is instead of coming right down over the hip, I like to do kind of like almost like a third fold, and I'll show you what I mean by that at the end. So basically, instead of bringing this down to the side, what I do is I kind of fold and I bring it across. And the reason I do that is A, it gives another really clean edge. It kind of makes it look finished, but it also has the added benefit of laying a little bit nicer on baby and giving a nicer shape. But this edge now, instead of tucking underneath where it'll unravel, this is now on the side, and I bring it right under baby, and now baby is gonna have a really hard time breaking out of that wrap. So it's something that I just use in the studio, because a lot of times if I'm swaddling a baby, a lot of times it's because the baby is not really very happy at that exact moment in time. So this just kind of allows that little bit of control while they're trying to break out. It just holds them snug, and that's what's gonna calm your baby down. So there's a bunch of S's that they say that calms your baby. So one is swaddling. So swaddling, because your baby, especially a newborn, is used to being really, really enclosed in your belly. So this, it just kind of mimics that and kind of helps to relax them and soothe them. It's like you, when you're upset, if someone gives you a really tight hug, it's going to calm you right down. So you're going to swaddle them, you're going to shush them, so go shh, that helps. And then you want to sway as well. So a lot of times, if I'm wrapping a baby who's cranky, a lot of times I'm going like this. My clients have probably seen me do it. And just that sway just kind of helps. That's why babies love swings. They love the car seat once the car seat gets moving. So if your baby is really unsettled, and this isn't even just for pictures, swaddle them, give them the shush, and just kind of pick them up and just kind of give them a little bit of a sway. And you can sit, some like side to side, some like back and forth, some like to be kind of bounced while they sway gently. So there's a lot of things that you can do to calm them down. But for the purpose of this, baby is asleep or really content. We've gotten them wrapped, and I will show you. So I'm not sure how good you're gonna be able to see. So we have here, this is that little part that we tucked up and over, so you can see that right side of the edge. This comes down and this comes down, and then this one comes across to kind of hold. So baby's head would be up like this and not like head forward. The other thing that I do is, because I'm gonna lay baby down, I'm not gonna photograph them up like this. So what I do is the back here, I kind of pinch and pull it down a bit. And that will lay behind the baby. And the reason for that is look how much tighter that got, and it's not up near their neck. So now when I lay them down, baby's gonna lay on top of that and hold that, and it's gonna be a nice tight wrap up at the top and look really clean and just look really good. So now what you can do is you can lay baby on the bed. If you have a really, really busy comforter sometimes, or a duvet, if you flip it over, oftentimes the other side is solid or a much less busy pattern. Like I said, you can lay down a receiving blanket that's solid or coordinating, or vice versa, and you can take a picture of them on top of that, which you can also lay that on the bed. My other tip is if your comforter is really busy on both sides, or you just don't like it, if you have just a plain sheet, regardless of color, just a plain sheet, lay that over top and then kind of tuck it in like it's your duvet. Lay it right on top, put your pillows on top of that, and then that will act as a duvet and look like one in pictures. So you can also do that to kind of trick things. So you can just literally lay your baby on there, take some pictures of them from the side, come on top, take pictures on top. If you are shooting above your baby, 2 hands on your phone or camera at all times. If it is a camera, your neck strap has to be around your neck, because the camera specifically, I mean, if you drop your phone on your baby, yes, it's gonna hurt. Yes, there's a possibility you could do some damage. But for the most part, I mean, it happens. We've all seen the videos online. I know I personally have dropped my phone on my baby. Thankfully, they were older. They were about 8 or 9 months, but still, like, it happens. So make sure your hands are really solid on that on the camera. Also, if a camera is significantly heavier than a phone. So if you do drop that, you can do some very serious damage. So please, safety first. Make sure that wrist strap is on really tight. Make sure it's around your neck. If you do not have a strap for your camera, do not use your camera to shoot over top of your baby, because I would hate for anything to happen to them. So that is one tip that I have for you. So play around with that. You can lay them on pretty much anything. One tip that I do have for you is that if you have a basket like this in your house and you have a tiny little newborn, You can use this to do a picture as well. So in mine, I have 2 towels that I literally just folded in thirds and put in. And then this is just a blanket off of my couch, so nothing fancy. And what I do is it's slightly longer, so I just roll slightly the top and lay that in. The good thing with being able to roll the top like that is that kind of gives a little bit of a pillow for baby's head to go on. And then, let me see if I can break this up. So this here is my basket. So basically all you do, your baby is nice and wrapped, supporting their head. You just put them in. Baby needs to fit inside the basket. Their head cannot be up on this, and you really don't want their feet over this, but specifically the head, because it's going to hurt their head, and we want safety first here. But if you do want a studio one, I mean, everyone puts their kids in laundry baskets and things like that. You can even use a laundry basket if you want. I've seen some really, really cute pictures with that, but for sure, that is one thing that you can do, is you can do that. Just put them on the hardwood floor. Again, safety first. Make sure that your camera is very, very secure if you are going to be shooting over top of your baby. But those are 2 that you can do very easily to get some pictures. Other ones, the easiest thing, if you have just a very simple sleeper, so something that's not super busy, a lot of times you can have just a white one or a gray one, you've got something. These are not things you need to leave the house for, but you can do that and just get pictures of mom and dad. You can take pictures of each other with the baby, set a timer, and get a picture of yourselves. If you can stand in front of a window like I am, that is probably going to be your best bet for lighting, but you can definitely do those pictures. I mean, they're not going to be professional quality. Also, while baby is wrapped, that's another really good way. You can take some pictures. For dads, this is a really easy way. We all tend to hold babies like this because we want to look at their face and we want to be able to talk to them even though they're probably sleeping. But yeah, just holding baby just like this, and take some pictures in front of the window. Moms, instead of holding them down like this, if you kind of bring your hand up and under and hold them a little closer to your face, that'll help as well. Even if they're wrapped, you can still